Howdy, folks. Welcome to episode 21. Today we're going to get rid of that thing, maybe. It's such an eyesore, and I need to decide what to do with that. Yeah. So, I had some ideas. I mean, salvaging is not really a good option because it takes so long to take it apart that it's not even worthwhile. You could basically throw it in a drain, and the resources are faster to get just by remining all of them out. So yeah, that's not really an option. The other thing is just basically fly it up into space and dump it there. I don't know. We'll figure out something. But yeah, what I wanted to do was I wanted to make like a greenhouse type thingy on this, and let me set an axis here. There we go, the symmetry axis. So maybe we can, let's see. I don't know what we'll see what kind of look we can get out of this. I kind of want it to be like a door, so I'll need that. I think I can get away with this here, and fill this in with either ramps or maybe windows would work better. Let's see. Okay, so we're gonna try that. I like that. Okay, that looks a little more greenhousey. So yeah, you know what? I'm gonna do this on all of the greenhouse thingies out here, and I'll be back in a minute. Okay, we're back, and I've got all of those done on all four sides and each end of the greenhouses, so they kind of look greenhousey, even though they're white and not green. But yeah, and then I wanted to do some inside. I wanted to do some plant decoration, and also before we go do that, since we're right here, I was trying to figure out a way to get up to the top, and yeah, this is kind of an eyesore, and yeah, I'm not going to keep that. So I think what I wanted to try was some elevator blocks and like that, and be able to go up here and then go up onto the thing. So I think I'm going to do that, and then I'll put some stairs up there. So we'll do that, but first I want to decorate in here. I've got an idea for something I wanted to do, and we'll try it out and see how it looks. So this is the center, kind of a courtyard between all four of the directions as you're coming up the elevator shaft, and I wanted this to look a little bit nicer. So I want to throw this in here, and I've got these. Let's see. So I'm going to put these in here and get this nice and turned around, and we'll paint that something so it's not ugly. Okay, and we'll go up here, and we can put some plants up in this, whatever kind of sprouts we want. I figured they've changed the name now. It's not aqua sprouts. I figured I'd put the Ahex. Is that what it's? Ahex? Whatever. I figured I'd put some of these sprouts in here maybe, or some aloe vera. Let's see. The aloe vera would probably be more useful. But yeah, let's try that. We've got 3 by 4 is 12, so that works out perfectly. And then I was going to put a light in here to let them grow. So we'll do that. And put that, I can put it there, or I can put it on top of that, but that looks kind of ridiculous. So yeah, let's try that. Okay. That looks kind of interesting. Okay, so the light's going to go here, and here, and here. And then we're going to put in these. Yeah, I think this will look kind of nice. So yeah, my idea was to decorate around the base with some plant life, make it look a little nicer, and I didn't want to use all the same trees over and over and over. So I'll just use the same crops over and over instead, right? But yeah, I mean, it's, you gotta do something to make it look more like a home than a hobbit hole or whatever. So we'll get this finished up, and I already threw some plants upstairs to see how it would look. So what I did was I put the plants in, and I didn't really like the lights being there. So I basically put lights in to let the plants grow, and then I'm just going to leave the plants there. I took the lights back out, so I'm just going to leave the full grown plants there and not harvest them, because otherwise then I'm going to have to, they're not going to regrow and they're going to look horrible. So, but yeah, I'll show you that in a minute, right after we finish this up. We'll get this colored and we'll put in our crops. So here's 1, 2, and 3. There we go. Okay. So yeah, those will grow out, and we'll have some nice aloe veras. Hopefully they'll be nice and decent sized, hanging off the edge. Now the other thing is, up here I did the hanger, and so while my wife was playing, she built her own ship. It looked like a bat wing thingy, so I named it for her. But it looks really cool. She built her own little ship, little runabout to go out around in, and so that was her little design. She kind of did the same thing where she drew it out on paper and then filled it out and everything. So yeah, we've got our plants here. I wish we could go back to the bigger models. I liked when those models were really oversized and huge. But I've got some plants over here to decorate with. And yeah, why don't we try let's see, which side was that? I think that was the west side. Why don't we try this elevator idea? But yeah, I was planning on putting some plants around in various places on the yeah, I'm gonna have to make stairs to do this too. But yeah, I wanted to try out plants in different parts of the base and everything, just kind of make it look more not so a giant chunk of metal. So here we'll use hull walls, because the windows, they don't make the inverted, they make the inverted angled windows, but they don't make the inverted flat windows. And so if you try to put a window against an elevator, it's like this. It's out to the side, so it's kind of horrible. It doesn't really work, and so I don't want to do that. And let's see, I can put one here too. No, I can't, because there's a block already there. Okay, so I'm going to get these done, and I'm going to go make some stairs to put in these 2 spots. And I will be back in a minute. Okay, we're back, and we've got all of these done. So with that, with that and the greenhouses, I think it looks pretty nice together. I think it works pretty well. So yeah, and if you noticed down here, yeah, my wife and I, after we got back from our adventures on all the other new planets, we went and we decided we were going to build a CV in order to do that stuff, and we're going to need a lot of fuel. So we went and mined out the rest of the promethium from the whole planet. And what it did was it went and dropped a bunch of, when we started getting close to finished, it started dropping all of, whoa, oh, that's my turrets shooting at the wildlife. Okay, but yeah, it started dropping all of the, whatchamacallits, started dropping all the meteorites on us. So yeah, I hadn't seen those before, so I wanted to check those out with you guys. And let's put on our helmet. And nice. Already got plant monsters. Are they gonna come after me? I don't know. I guess not. Okay, so anyway, let me get my drill out here. I'll have to remember when I come back up, because they'll go over top of you and sit up on the water. But yeah, so these things just pop up. I suppose it helps if I have my auto collect thingy on, so I don't lose all the and of course my drill is almost empty. But yeah, I don't know if you guys have seen these things yet. This is the first I've seen of them, because I had, before that, hadn't mined out anything completely. And yeah, my wife decided to find out if the Sathium would do the same thing, so she mined out all the asteroids. And sure enough, it started putting new meteorites into the asteroid field, which was pretty funny. And I think it looks like it's shrinking. I'll time-lapse this, okay? If it takes too long. Whoa! It exploded! Okay. Oh, that was different. So yeah, it's gone, and let's see, how much did we get? 748 promethium. That's not bad. Yeah, let me go, let's see. Go back to my ship and, try this. Now I'm going to leave my helmet on for the next 3 days, and when I run out of oxygen, be like, why am I out of oxygen? Why am I taking damage? Duh. Okay. Yeah, let me go empty out this one, because it's just annoying me that it's on the map. So, I'm going to go empty out this one, and I'll be back again. Boom. Man, those things are really, really dense. We got, yeah, another 750 out of basically one drill charge worth. So they're a lot more mineral dense than the regular deposits, which is kind of cool. Okay, so why don't we go back up here, and I've got one more thing I wanted to build. Okay guys, we're back, and I'm up on the scaffold ship. As you can see, I'm up at the top, and you know, this thing looks like it's just kind of floating in up here. So I'm going to put some support looking stuff here, just to make it not be floating in the air. And actually, I want to do a symmetry plane here, because I want this to be more than one block. So yeah, let's do this, and we'll get this going. So I'm basically just going to put a simple you know, leg sticking out kind of thingy. Nothing too fancy. It just needs to look like it's going to support, and then I'll probably put some lights for the middle to make it look cool again. And we'll paint the outsides. Let's see, is that 1, 2, 3, 4, 5? We'll go maybe 3 more. I think that'll do it. So yeah, we'll come out here, and I need to get back in the ship again. It's tricky because your reach distance is if you go too far, you can't reach. See how that looks. And yeah, we'll do that. Yeah, if you go too far, you can't reach. Okay. And if you don't, and if you go too close, then you can't hit the other thing. So let me put the lights in the middle here. Whoa, I don't want to put that in my hotbar while I'm still in the ship. I heard you do that and you lose all the stuff. That would suck to lose 900 light blocks. That would really royally suck. Yeah, here, we'll do this. And we'll put those in here also. So, let's see. I think that would look kind of cool. How about like that? Is that or that? Which way? I think if we do that, we can probably put some trim around it and kind of make it look more interesting, maybe? I don't know, we'll see. We could put these in there. That would make it look cool. Yeah, I like that. I like that. Okay, we're gonna do that. And I'll have to go up to the top and fix that up. So I'll have to go right up next to it and put this one here and get rid of that one in the middle. Don't fall. Okay, and we're going to put a block here. And then this one. It's this one, isn't it? Yeah. Okay, so that's going to go there. Don't fall. And there. So yeah, I'm going to paint that up and duplicate those on the other sides, and I'll be back in a few minutes. Okay guys, I finished it up and it looks pretty cool. I think it works out pretty well. You have to see it in the daylight in order to see the color. Well, you can see it with the lights here. I put a little yellow stripe on it. So yeah, and it looks kind of cool. Looks kind of pointy and stuff, lasery. So yeah, I've got that done, and I did a couple more plants on the inside. Let me do this. Go in here and and why is my oxygen red and flashing? Because I forgot to take my helmet off, of course. Okay, but yeah, I'm gonna let these grow out and then fix these blocks up so that it looks better. But yeah, I put in durians and corn, and see the aloe's looking nicer. It's growing out already. I don't think it's fully grown yet. Oh, it is pickable already. That was faster than I expected. But yeah, and then I've got pear things and coffee. So those will be nice little decorations. Those are the durians. The pear things are over, I think, this way. But yeah, those will be the nice little decorative plants and stuff in the base. So yeah, I think I've got an idea. Whoops, I think I've got an idea for the CV. I think I know what we can do with that, and we're gonna try that out in the next episode. So why don't you guys join me? Because we are out of time for today. With episode 21, so we'll do that in episode 22. So join me then, and we'll do something cool with this ship, and we'll see if it works or not. All right, see you later. Yeah, don't do that.